Can I ask you first about your meetings with Biden administration officials? Mm-hmm. Do you have any more confidence now that the United States might consider giving formal diplomatic recognition to the National Unity Government?
Yes, I feel like that because, the way the Biden administrations engage with me and the way they treat me is really very good and very much welcome and very much supportive and very frankly discussions. I mean, those trips is really encouraging me.
I mean, have you asked them directly whether they are going to recognize the National Unity Government as being the rightful government of Myanmar?
This trip, I didn't directly ask them, but we usually ask them to recognize and engage and, to support our struggle. So today what they have said is that by showing, welcoming to Washington, D.C., and they are very much consistent, supporting our struggles, and they appreciate what NUG is doing and also our commitment. So they also showing their commitment to support us.
It's been about 1 year since the Association of Southeast Asian Nations adopted this 5-point consensus to try and bring about a resolution to the crisis in Myanmar. Mm-hmm. And there's been very little progress during that past year. Now, I understand that you're meeting with some ASEAN foreign ministers while you're here. Can you tell us a bit about who you've met or who you're due to meet, and whether you're any more confident now that ASEAN can help resolve the situation in Myanmar?
Yes, I met a few ASEAN foreign ministers. Publicly with the ASEAN Malaysia foreign minister I'm about to meet.
Have you had the chance to meet the Cambodian foreign minister, who's the ASEAN's envoy to Myanmar?
No, I haven't met yet.
And do you think you're going to meet him on this trip?
Not sure. I also sent a request letter to meet during this trip, but doesn't reply yet.
So what do you see as the prospect? What do you make of the prospects of ASEAN actually engaging directly with the NUG? I mean, do you think, it seems like you're meeting with ministers from some countries but not from others. So do you think ASEAN is willing to take that step to engage directly with the NUG?
Yes, like I said before, some member states are willingness to engage. It's actually in line with 5-point consensus. In 5-point consensus mentioned that ASEAN envoy need to meet with different stakeholders. We are very huge, and the stakeholders supported by the people. So why don't the ASEAN envoy able to meet with us except the SAC? So what we are asking for is in line with 5-point consensus. So that is why I would like to encourage the ASEAN member states and leaderships to follow and to engage with different stakeholders in Burma, not just only with SAC.
It's been about 15 months since the military coup led by Min Aung Hlaing. Can you summarize for me what is the situation inside Myanmar now in terms of the extent of the conflict in the country and the impact that it's having on the civilian population?
Yeah, it has been a very huge impact for the daily life of civilian populations, actually, so as to the military, actually. Now there are a lot of defectors in military personnel themselves, do not believe their leaderships. So it's very huge impacts. It's one of the indicator how much, the impact of the military coup itself to its own institutions. Even the military and the soldier officials, they do not support their military coups. So there is the very huge impacts, and people are now very much realize of the why we need military out of politics. Yeah.
Do you think that the Tatmadaw can be beaten militarily, because they're one of the biggest militaries in Southeast Asia and very battle-hardened? I know they've suffered defections that you talked about, mm-hmm. But do you think it's possible for People's Defense Forces to defeat the Tatmadaw?
Actually, our revolution is not just only depends on military. The People's Defense Forces is like additional forces on our own political and diplomatics and economic pressure to the military. We are not choosing only one way of struggle. We just initiated the People's Defense Forces are to exercise their right to self-defense, and then that will be definitely initiative for the security sector reform.